All right, everything's bolted and tightened. We're going to see if this thing works. I'll be a little bit out of view here, but let's see. Wow, that is cool. That is cool. Phase 1 of the stealth camper. So I've kept it pretty simple as far as the easy lift setup is here with the dead man switch and the up and down switch, and that's pretty much it. Bring it down like normal. I also keep my onboard air switch here for my Oasis onboard air. And the other thing I do want to mention is that I found if you've got the side panel, roll up, leave your door open and roll up your zipper and side panel, and don't worry about the memory tucking it in. This protects the screen. I found that up and down and crinkling is pretty tough on the screen, but if you roll it up and just tuck it in between your actuators and whatever you got going on, much easier on the screen. And then it just comes down in normal fashion. And then, like you have to do with all of them, just go around, make sure that your tuck-ins are good. Which it's looking pretty good on both sides already. Alright, so we'll just continue all the way down. And that's it, it's down. Alright, I'm going to pause for editing and get one more. Okay, now as far as taking this piece down, right, this is pretty easy. Like I said, it's just coroplast until I get something permanent, but take that in. I've got one little cable here attaching to the rod. Keep tension there. That's in. Stow. And then velcro. Best stuff in the world. My window's closed. Now, this is how it's attached. I just used put a hole in the board, and I used the big 1/2-inch bolt that is attached to the topper. It was a little bit longer, put a bolt on there, one on the other end, and that's all that holds this panel to the side. Just finger tight. Hold it there, and then nothing magic, this panel comes off. Alright, now I'll store it on the other side. I'll set the camera up over there. Okay, so make sure I'm packed up. Anything that I need out of here is easy enough to get to, and you'll see. So again, here are the bolts that are on the top of the actuators that lift the topper. So there's some extra thread in there. I left it there on to mount this. So now I just took this down from that side. I bring this around. I've got 3 Velcro tabs for my window. I just put this in between the bolts. My 2 coroplast ends just go here. Close the topper and it's stored. So really, this is no big hiding place for it. And if I need to get into those bins, I can either drag them out the tailgate end or open this and just lean that against the truck. And that is it for the air traffic control tower addition for more room. Well, stuff is loaded. Let's bring it down. All right, let's hit the trail. So, just quickly, we'll talk about, is this system for you? It works for me for 2 reasons. One is I have I've got a small Hallmark camper that is awesome in here. I've got it gutted down to 700 pounds, but it's big. I can't fit through all the trails I want to fit through. So this time of year when it's a little bit nicer, even in fall, I don't even mind winter camping. If I think I'm going to be doing something rough and I want my big truck over my Jeep, I want to bring my kayak and all that stuff. I can't really fit the kayak on my camper. But the other big thing is I've got a core variable rate suspension in here. So this thing can cruise down bad roads, aired down at 18 psi. I can run desert roads and hit washboards and hit cattle guards at 80 miles an hour if I want to. I've tested it. That's probably not the best thing to do, but just testing it. You know, the zombies are coming and you got to get out of there. But also off-road, we're in an area, we're going to be hitting an area known as the Dolores Triangle, maybe Bangs Canyon, and some tough trails that suspension works great for me. So a small step down setup, much lighter than the camper, great for off-roading. I still have my airbags to do some things, so it's good. So now you ask, well, what happens? You know, you have to think of these scenarios. I get to the end of my day and something made me sick. I am sick as a dog, dude, and I don't want to do the empty out, the load out to get this thing set up. Well, I've kind of thought of that too. So say I just want to do a super fast camp. I don't feel like reaching the easy lift buttons. I just come back here. I take 2 bicycle tires out, if I even have it with me, my medical bag, and this thing out. That's it. That's all I got to do. Stuff it under the truck and unroll my sleeping bag with a pillow, and I'll just crawl right up in the side and go to sleep. Lay down. If I have to get sick, I can just roll out and off the side of the truck, whatever. clean that mess up the next day. You know, we'll be reality based about this. If I have to go to the bathroom, it might be a little tougher, but you know, I'll get my step stool out, or I can swing out. I've already done it. So I can do a super fast camp if I'm not into getting cooked stuff out. I've got snacks in the front, or if I'm sick and I just need to lay down, it works. You know, I travel 99% of the time by myself. But if somebody else needs to just do a fast camp, you know, if I have a guest along, well, and they're not sick, they can do some of the work to pull that stuff out. You know, we can get the back undone. I've been in bad sick situations in the past. It's very rare, but you know, I've done what needed to be done. So anyway, that is my system and how it works for me, and we are ready to head out. Okay, if you've been catching my pictures, you've seen my awning up. In fact, we just had lunch here with the awning up. But I just wanted to show you my awning and my poor boy drawer system. So if you're on a budget, I mean, I have a commercial awning on my Jeep. You know, there's the Australian brands, the domestic brands. They're all kind of the same. People are worried about them. You got to unroll them out of their zip bag and then swing out the arms, and sometimes it's a pain. They're great products, but if you want something on a budget, those things can run anywhere from 200 to 450 bucks, or you want to spend $1 million on a Foxwing. But here's a poor boy budget awning, and this is how I travel with it along the trail. So this is how fast it deploys. It's 1/2 of a military pup tent that snaps together. So 1/2, it's strung to the inside of the tailgate bottom, and I use 2 heavy-duty aluminum tent poles and 2 bungee cords, and a piece of PVC tubing that you'll see to keep tension at the end. But this is how I travel with it. So when I pull over for lunch, I open my tailgate. This is how fast my awning goes up. Two heavy-duty tent poles, piece of PVC pipe that I cut holes that are the same distance apart as the grommets in the tent material. That keeps my ends taut, and these just go into the corners on each side of the tailgate cable. Right, I just let it hang. Up, 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 boom, and then I tension it, a bungee cord in the string here, right to the bumper, and then throw a little tension on it in case we get wind. Another bungee cord for this side, and that's it. It's up, it's waterproof. I got plenty of shade, and if the wind blows it, the bungee cord catches it somewhat, but if I get caught in a microburst or a huge gust, which has happened, nothing bends or breaks. Those poles go up on each side of the tailgate hatch for the topper, and then when it stops blowing, I just pull it back down. And then I can tie it so it's more stable. But that's it. Poor boy. Oh, and my poor boy drawer system. Right. So now I want to have lunch. Cooler out. Oh, that box is a pain in the ass to get to. But if you get one of these cheap store food box, cooler, ready to go for lunch. So, on a shoestring. There you go. Literally on a shoestring to pull that box out. So you've heard of the ARB? That's the JHM awning.